Great to see folks showing up. So I always love that moment when people start to filter into the room. And in this case, we actually have people coming in ThirdSpace Action Lab in Glenville as well. So, we're doing our first hybrid event here. So we're trying out how it works to see some faces on the screen and some people physically all resonating with the program today. So while people are arriving, while things are going, are we okay, Brittany, ooh, I'm hearing something. Brittany, are we cool in ThirdSpace? Can you hear us okay? Okay, well, while we're getting that set up, I'll turn my attention to the folks on the screen who are virtually present. And I'll just say, as we come in to this, our first hybrid event of Front International 2022, which is called Resonate, Making Contact to Transcend Time and Space, I wanted to ask you all to just take a moment and arrive in this virtual space with us. And if you like, you can take a moment to close your eyes and just take in a deep breath and then release it slowly. And as you breathe in and breathe out, just take a moment to listen to the sounds around you. The sounds of your own breath, the sounds of the environment that you're in, maybe the sounds of other people and other creatures wherever you are. And since this event is called Resonate, I wanted to ask you all to just picture in your mind a song that resonates with you, that resonates with what you're bringing into this room. And just, if you can, think of that song, take in another breath and release it. And whenever you're ready, just open your eyes slowly, open up your chat, and type the name of that song in that resonates with you. Great. We've got Marvin Gaye, Save the Children, John Coltrane, Love Supreme, the second part, The Rainbow Connection by Kermit the Frog, The Passenger by Iggy Pop. Please, if you can, just think of a song, and it also can be whatever you've listened to recently that really resonated. Here Comes the Sun, Cleo Soul, Sure of Myself. And what will happen is that after this, ThirdSpace Action Lab are going to put together a little collaborative playlist that'll be shared back with everybody of the songs that have resonated with us, the songs that come out of this collective space and gathering of people. So my name is Prem Krishnamurthy. I'm Front's artistic director, and our exhibition, Oh Gods of Dust and Rainbows, considers art as an agent of transformation and healing. And I know that one thing that's really been almost like therapy for me during the challenges of the pandemic and everything that's been happening in the last year has been music. And I mean, I probably don't need to say to you all that Cleveland which is the site and the center of Front International 2022, has such a rich and storied musical history, but it also has a rich musical present. And part of it is that Cleveland as a city and a musical city is so connected to many other currents around the world. And so the idea of this event, Resonate, making contact to transcend time and space, as Front's first hybrid event, is to really think about how to experience these connections in our minds and our bodies. And the event has been organized by ThirdSpace Action Lab. Thank you very much to Evelyn Burnett, Mordecai Cargill, and Brittany Benton, and everybody else at ThirdSpace Action Lab for putting this program together and also hosting the in-person part of it there in Glenville, in Cleveland, while the rest of us enjoy this on Zoom. And I also want to give a big shout out to Allison Smith and Sarah Liska at Front, who have helped to shepherd this event into existence. And of course, the people whom we're really here to celebrate are the artists that we have. And today we have two fantastic musical artists who are going to be sharing new work with us. And after each of their virtual performances, we're going to have a conversation and discussion, which I hope you'll all stick around for, so that we can not only listen to the music, perhaps move our bodies a bit, but also engage in conversation and discourse around what that music does and what its connections are. So without further ado, and hopefully tell me, Brittany or Mordecai, if I've forgotten anything important. If not, we'll start then with the first featured performance today. And one thing I'll say is, while these are on, feel free, if you're here virtually, if you like, turn off your camera if that's more comfortable, and move your bodies. If you can, sometimes I feel like we're so tethered to our computers, tethered by headphones, tethered by keyboards, that we forget that the way that we experience music is, in my mind, first and foremost in the body. All of these studies show that it's harder cognitively if you see somebody playing music or moving. It's actually harder to keep yourself still, to sit in a chair, than it is to move in some ways and respond to that. So here on this Friday morning, Friday evening, wherever you are, I'll just encourage you to do that. So our first performer and featured artist today is Kyle Kidd. And Kyle is based in Cleveland, and we're very excited to have Kyle here. And Kyle composes original music and curates multi-sensory experiences that incorporate video, music, and fashion. And he thinks of his art in all of its forms to be a tribal legacy. And we're really excited to have Kyle Kidd here. I'm going to then start with Kyle's performance, and then that will be followed by Blue Lab Beats from London. And then the two artists, performers will be in conversation together. So let me start with Kyle. And again, please turn up the sound if you can.
can't deny it. Oh, ain't gonna hide it. This love, just can't deny it. Oh, ain't gonna hide it. This love, y'all want me to just start talking about my life? All right, bye. Why you keep saying I'm dead? Oh, I was gonna say, am I supposed to start? Body gain some self-control. Nothing's like it was before. I cried so many times walking out that door. But something brings me back to you. Too late for maybes, don't make me wait, please. I done been through everything, so full of love, but I keep crying. So little trust, but I keep trying. Should I, would I, could I? Should I, would I, could I? Should I, would I, could I? Too late for maybe. Don't make me wait, please. I done been through everything. Don't make me search more. Don't let regrets be. I don't know these feelings so full of love, but I keep crying. So little trust, but I'll keep trying. Should I, would I, could I? Should I, would I, could I? Should I, would I, could I? Oh, should I, would I, could I? Should I, would I, could I? Should I, would I, could I? could you be that you're not here with me? Beautiful you are, yes, you are. My imagination keeps playing tricks on me, that you're here loving me. It's too hard for me. Don't wanna be lonely, no, not tonight. No, so come to me, inside of me, inside my love. So come to me, inside of me, inside my love a friend, I've been waiting so patiently. And wouldn't you love to see me so sweet, oh, misty me? My imagination keeps playing tricks on me, that you're here loving me. It's so hard for me. Don't wanna be lonely, no, not tonight. Oh, so come to me, inside of me, inside my love. So come to me, inside of me, inside my love. So just play whatever.
Just play whatever. You want to do that one?
No. Cause I gotta go. I don't have the range for that right now. Which one? This one? Fearless.
Yeah.
I just don't have the range for that. I'll have to sing different. Oh no, 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 we gonna have you speak at the beginning. Come on, let's just get it out the way. We'll do this. so burning. Oh, I'm trusting. Show your tears running down your face. Allow your love to show. Allow it all to show. Oh, be yourself, free yourself. Dive in a little farther. Allow the wind to send you in. 'Cause worthy you are to be loved of the blessings bestowed. Life lies near as you come, not far from below. Oh, from below. So be yourself and free yourself. Allow yourself to dive in a little farther and let the wind send you in. Allow it to send you in. Shoo-ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Down, 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 down. Oh, ho, 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 ho. So be yourself and free yourself. Dive in. Allow the wind to take you deeper in. You are worthy to be loved. You are worthy. Oh, you're worthy to be loved. Oh, you're worthy to be loved.
Thank you so much. I feel like it's coming out of a reverie to now be back with people after that beautiful moment of intimacy and music. So our next speakers, our next performers, as it were, are hailing from very far away. We've started with Kyle Kidd in Cleveland, and now we have Blue Lab Beats, who are a jazztronica duo from London. And their influences include jazz, hip hop, soul, funk, R&B, and others. But their method is really to kind of combine and juxtapose all of these different traditions and influences, and then put them out into what is Blue Lab Beats. So, and then again, after this after this next performance, then we'll have a chance to speak with both artists and think about the connections between the places, the resonances, as it were, which is really the curatorial program of ThirdSpace Action Lab, to bring these two artists into the same virtual space. So let me once again share my screen, and we'll continue from there.
Blue Lab Beats. Project title. Voyage. The jazztronica duo consists of Mr. DM, the multi-instrumentalist and harmony composer, NKOK, the music producer, sound design engineer, and sample drum programmer. These two form the nucleus of Blue Lab Beats. And now, get ready to embark on a very blue voyage.
Experience. Sit back, relax, enjoy the vibe, stay safe out there, you know.
problem to those in power. Power, 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 power.
This track is from our newest EP, We Will Rise, so go buy that, stream that. And this track is called Nights in Havana. Let's go. So that last track was called Dome from our X Over album way back. And now moving on to newer music, we got the title track of our EP, We Will Rise. To our final track. I know. Thank you for tuning in and being with us, you know. This final track is Blue Skies.
We attired in black, white, brown, Brooklyn, Jewish, Muslims, burgers, and everybody stood up and said, I'm tired. And then all lives matter. And of course, black lives matter. When you hear the words white privilege, it doesn't mean any one person is racist. It just makes you an observationist. It just tells you I recognize what's happening.
thank you so much for tuning in. We are Blue Lab Beats. Stay safe, take care, much love, peace. Yes, yes.
Thank you so much to Blue Lab Beats. Let's have a round of applause for them. Oh, what a set. I feel like I've had my camera off and have been here dancing the whole time. So hopefully you all have been doing the same. Now, before we go into the discussion part, which I'm really excited about, here's just a little tool that I learned from the dancer and community builder, Lexi Lattimore. So I just want to use the chat for a quick pulse check. Just open up the chat wherever you are and just take a moment to type in, after those performances, what are you sitting with? That can take the form of I am thinking ... or I'm feeling, or I am wondering, or I'm curious about, or this resonated with me. Just take a moment, and I'll give us just a moment, and then on the count of 3, we can all put it into the chat together. So just take a moment and type in just something of what you're feeling right now. Okay. And on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. We have some relaxation, some aliveness, a little overwhelmed, but more relaxation. Some people are considering a nap. Some people are feeling the music and are excited for having a good time. Thank you, everyone. So once again, it's so exciting to be here with Kyle Kidd in Cleveland and Blue Lab Beats. I want to introduce Brittany Benton and Mordecai Cargill from ThirdSpace Action Lab, who have conceived and organized this whole program and really brought together the people here. So let me hand it over to Mordecai and Brittany.
Awesome. Thank you, Prem. Yes, I'm almost just overwhelmed. I'm struggling to find the words. I'm usually much cooler, but this really set my soul on fire. So I am just so incredibly impressed by the brilliance of Kyle Kidd and NKOK and Mr. DM, go by Blue Lab Beats. Before we get into the kind of the panel discussion, I wanted to mention that if you registered, if you're here with us in person, I'm upstairs and Brittany's holding it down on the first floor. If you're there in person, you are automatically entered into a raffle to win a copy of the Blue Lab Beats Final Voyage. Me and Fred already got ours. So if you are under the sound of my voice, you get a chance to get one too. So I am so excited to have an opportunity to be in conversation with these incredible artists. But just real quick on ThirdSpace, I'm the co-founder and creative director of ThirdSpace Action Lab. We are a grassroots solutions studio. We, in a shorthand version of our kind of about, is that we're like McKinsey and Parliament Funkadelic have a soulful Black baby. And so I happen to be Dr. Funkenstein Part 4, or Don Cargilius if you're funky. But our work is all about activating space and activating people. And so we're so incredibly grateful to our comrades at front for giving us an opportunity to take these 4 walls or the 4 corners of this Zoom screen and make them shake, right, across time and space. And so I'm so grateful. But I want to just jump into the conversation. Kyle, I'm going to start with you. First of all, the way that you describe your work is like so incredibly accurate on your website. And in that performance, I felt all of that. I felt all of it. But I wanted to just give you an opportunity to just start by telling us, like, how do you describe in your own words, you know, and what inspires you? And then I'm going to ask the same question of NKOK and Mr. DM. Calling in from, are y'all in London? Y'all in Ghana?
Yes, we're in London. Yeah.
Yes, massive. Awesome. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Right on. So Kyle, you're first. So how do you describe your work?
Well, thank you first and foremost, Mordecai, for opening space for this, as well as Brittany and Front. The way that I would describe my music is forever changing. I think it sounds a little cliche to say, but it's soul music or heart music. So whatever, however that shows up in the space, or I was doing some very experimental music just a year ago that was more meditative influenced. Well, and I think all the music that I try and make is meditative in a way, or to cause or to evoke emotions of that you want to deal with and want to work with. But more so recently, on the during the pandemic, and currently I've been writing about love in all the forms. Self-love, love, platonic love, romantic love, just relationships, because I think it's something that people have felt a lack of, is being in relationship with one another. And I have felt like that, but I've more so felt more in relationship with people because I don't take the time and space that I get to share with people so much for granted. So I've been writing about that. And that's been my influence as of now. So it's been an amazing experience. And when Brittany asked me if I would be into doing this, I said, of course. I said, I want to talk about being in relationship. I want to engage with people from across the planet, across the separating us in Latin. I want to connect with them as well. So that has been an inspiration as well.
Right on. I love that description. No pun intended, I guess. So the Blue Lab Beats team, NKOK, Mr. DM, we are in this moment transcending time and space. But I wanted to ask you all, like, so how do you describe your work, and what are your influences, musical or non-musical?
Wow. I guess, we call ourselves a jazztronica duo. And then recently we also venture in Afrobeat, basically, as well. So
I love that.
And how we got the second name is because when we went to Ghana recently, all the Ghanaians were like, nah, your new sound is Afrobeat. We don't care. It's Afrobeat. You have to
I love it. Yeah, right on.
Because it's the thing of in Ghana, they want to bring more of the jazz scene to there as well. And there's just very much up for collaboration there. And the genres the subgenres I was hearing out there, it was insane. Because obviously clubs and everything are open in Ghana because they handled COVID like amazingly, basically. So yeah, me and David, we were clubbing till 7 a.m.
What? Oh, it's not. Yeah.
People were dancing. There was only roughly 2 months of lockdown, 2.5 months.
Yeah, 2.5 months of strict lockdown, and then like everyone was like that basically. Yeah, like they handled it, like they completely handled it amazingly. Yeah, and they closed airports for 3 months. So and that's that's how you do it. And then after that, everything was open. They're still strict with certain stuff, especially like coming into the country. But when you're in, like everything's like chill. Everything's very chill. But yeah, just to experience Afro beats in motherland was a whole different thing. To experience high life, because when you're in the clubs, they play such a massive amount of just amazing black music. you know, 98% of what you're hearing is just full on black music from all around the world, you know. It's beautiful.
So beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. It was the best clubbing, best just experience with people as well. Like, just the people are so warm. Like, I'm quarter Ghanaian myself, so it's just like, it was like proper home for me. So yeah, it was a big vibe, big vibe. Yeah.
Word up. Okay, so now I got two travel destinations that gotta get to, and we're gonna be hitting you up. You know, come out to London, or we're gonna take a trip to Ghana and get the vibes. So I'm excited about that. I'm also joined by my comrade Brittany. Brittany does so many things, and shout out to you, Brittany, for pulling this all together. You did it, all of the heavy lifting. You know, I just showed up and look pretty, you know, and just be, you know, jiggy and whatever. But I got to give you a ton of credit for pulling this together. But Brittany, you are not only the space activation coordinator for ThirdSpace Action Lab, but you're also the founder and owner of Brittany's Record Shop. You're a DJ or a producer. So Brittany, I'm going to ask you the same question. So like, how do you describe your work, you know, across those multiple dimensions, but also what inspires your work? What are your musical influences or non-musical influences?
I would say that I'm inspired by everything. That I've been raised by music, nursed by music. When I came back from college, 2009, I really got into DJing. My mom let me have a backpack year, even though we couldn't afford for me to go backpacking. So she was just like, yo, you know, do what you want to do creatively. And then after a year, you need to punch a clock somewhere. So in that time, I really got heavy into, even heavier into DJing. I'd always been collecting music. And I got more serious about making beats. So my vinyl collection grew crazy, just looking for samples. Then after a while, it was just like, I could start putting some dope sets together with these records instead of just always using my laptop. And I just really just dug deep in the Cleveland scene, you know, also because I was at the time too broke to really travel, but so I started setting up a lot of parties and just, you know, organically really just trying to just give back to the scene as much as I was, you know, taking from it and appreciating it. And it's funny because I want to say nearly 10 years later, it really came full circle because I'd say musically, influentially, I mean, I came up on all kinds of things. Like, I'm half Jamaican, so hip hop, reggae, soul, jazz, you know, anything that I could get my hands on. Bullet. Right. Yeah. So I want to say 2 years ago, I went to the UK to visit my dad. He stays over, I think he's still in like Croydon, but I had reached out to Maura Quaten because I was coming to I was trying to get into that Mobile Mondays at All Vinyl party, and she checked me out, embraced me, welcomed me. Like, I was like, you know, I own a record store, I make beats, I like to DJ, and she was like, yeah, we'll do a set. And it was just like, you know, like there's a lot of, you know, women DJs, but like, you know, I love the fact that, you know, more is like strictly vinyl. And I said, when I go home, I really want to stand on that instead of just something that I do you know, when I can. It's just like, you know, it's like as much as I can, you know, keep vinyl culture alive, it became a huge part of it. And then also there was another shop over there called Pure Vinyl. Just amazing sister, like Claudia. She just like, you know, and quick side note, I found out from Record Store Day that I'm the only Black woman owner in America that has a full vinyl shop. And like, when I reached out to her, there were so many parallels as far as, you know, the way she, not only was her space a vinyl record store, it was a community center. It was a place where people could white box ideas and just continue to create. So like, for example, we have an event here in the space called BYOV, Bring Your Own Vinyl. But I told Claudia that I just straight honorably, lovingly plagiarized her turntable events that she was doing on Thursdays, where you could play 4 tracks. Like, it was, I straight lifted it. I was just like, you know, this is just an homage to the scene. And to me, like, I've always been into music from all over the diaspora. And one thing I always love about when I go to London, it's like you see it all really come together. You got Jamaicans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, you know, just everybody from all over, and that's from, you know, any nation. It's truly an international place, and it all melts together. And in Cleveland, you know, we have a lot of spaces for the arts and like where there's museums, festivals, like we got Front Triennial, all of that. And it's just like, I wanted to definitely contribute musically. So like I said, musically, I'm a sponge, but really I'm a placemaker and an activator. So I'm always just trying to use music to make spaces come to life. So I know that was really long-winded, but like I love being from Cleveland, but also I love being a maker in Cleveland. And I think that events are essential to creating a scene, an economy, and also just giving people a platform. So I just feel like that's what I've been charged to do, and I take that seriously.
Right on, right on. So thank you for that. That's so much about why we are doing this event. You know, it's like, it may not be obvious why ThirdSpace Action Lab would be a part of something like this, but like I said, we're about activating space and activating people. But so much of our work deals with the problems of structural racism and socioeconomic inequity, right? But part of what we are trying to do is we're trying to get to the other side of that and get to liberation and get to joy and get to more of a palpable sense of love for the incredible work that comes from our being, right? So what I was reflecting on is that for me, listening to Blue Lab Beats, listening to Kyle Kidd, your music, like to me, it feels so Black, you know, it feels like it resonates on almost like on a metaphysical level. I felt it in my soul. I felt my ancestors giving me daps and pounds, you know, I felt like it was all that. But I wanted to ask you all a question, and I'm going to start with the Blue Lab Beats team, then we'll go to Kyle. Do you consider yourselves Black artists? And does Blackness play a central role in your approach to creating the work, or in what you hope will be imparted through that experience, you know, of digging into the work? So Mr.
Wow.
DM and NKOK, y'all start.
Wow. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely consider our music like, yeah, Black music for sure. Like, especially, you know, like, especially traveling to motherland, I felt it even more. And then playing our stuff and then playing our newer stuff, which is more Afro beats out there. And the people just saying like, you've come home and you've brought stuff here and now you're going to take stuff back there. It's like, you've really done it.
Yes, yes.
And that was to like the general folk there. Because the thing is, obviously, you know, when they, you know, Ghanaians, when they hear an English accent, they're like, who are you?
Right.
It's like, it's different if it's African American. It's different if it's African American. But if it's British, they're like, who are you? Really?
What? Hold on.
Yeah. Because like, you know, a lot of people can just use Ghana as a background. And I'm like, no, I'm Kota Ghanaian myself, you know. It's like, I'm here for a family and to bring and then to inform people to travel back to Ghana to film there, because it's so much cheaper to film in Ghana at the moment than in UK. And there's so much restrictions in UK as well. So like, that's why we flew out there. We were just like, yeah.
And they get so much work done out there as well in a short space of time.
Yeah. Like, it's nuts. Yeah. Like, you know, we done 2 music videos out there and a photo shoot, and the turnaround was 2 weeks. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, all the things you just said then, they all have like come back. Yeah, you know, and I think, you know, in UK, I mean any part of the world, honestly, I think like, but like how I can explain, you know, my and David's struggle in UK is just like we only have one radio station, which is Radio 1, and that is very, very strongly powered by whites, like white.
I feel you.
In the big, you know, and we don't have any other, like we have one extra, but it's always fully below. It's always below, and it's like it's played later on. There's no, and like, because there's not that much funding for Black art stuff here, there's not an opportunity like, okay, let's make our own station or blah, because of how the system is built here. And it's just like the gaslighting and everything, basically. Yeah. So in the UK jazz scene, you know, it's like we kind of then have taken that idea and just been like, okay, you know what, scratch that. Like, let's just make our own gigs, our own vibes, and then people just come here. And like, I guess when people say like, okay, what's the difference of how UK does jazz? Well, when we do it, we have influence of Afro beats and then what's going on in the West, you know, West Indies, right? Right. Because we're so closer with our culture there. So then we mix that together. So then people see that. And then now the thing's so exciting for everyone, you know, like everyone's wanting a bite of this, but it's just like, no, you've got to do this. You've got to be a part of this.
Yeah,
you know?
Right on. I love that. And I got to tell you, Brittany got me hip to Blue Lab Beats a couple months ago. When we found out that we we're going to be able to do this. And I've been watching y'all videos like nonstop. You know, it's just so jiggy. I just love it, man. And I have this dream of y'all shooting a video here in the space. So we'll follow up on that. I have a bunch of other crazy ideas, but you know, we'll come to that when we have a bit more time. Kyle, same question for you. I know that a lot of your work does, like, you know, center these intersections, right? Like these multiple layers of identity. But I wanted to ask you, you know, do you consider yourself a Black artist? And how central is the role of Blackness in your artistic practice?
Yes, I definitely consider myself a Black artist. And all the music I make or art I make is Black art first. You know, my background and my history, and I'll kind of merge Prim's question for me into this. The histories, you know, the history of Cleveland, but like specifically my ancestral background is deeply rooted in the Black church, Southern Baptist Church, and my great grandfather was a jazz musician. My uncle and my aunt were both off-Broadway vocalists as well as gospel singers. And, you know, I have a lot of musical history in my family, and they're all from Cleveland. And they all ventured out to different places within the states, kind of leaving their marks on American, you know, music history. But, you know, just to talk about the centering of that, you know, the heart of the Black church is the Blackness and the culture of, you know, that space. And you talking about the spiritual aspect or feeling the spirit, how the spirit resonated with you or resonates with you. That's what, you know, Black music is about, you know, and gospel music and jazz, you know. I was going to school for music. I was going to school for vocal performance with a tag in musical theater because my idea was I was going to be this big Broadway artist, and you know, and I gave that up quickly when I realized I had to do 9 shows a week consistently with no breaks. And so in that, you know, once I was in that space, and I was kind of like, me being in theater, I was always the token Black person. And so there was not a lot of space or influence for me in my direct community. And that really, you know, affected me in the sense of like, you know, these people are going to school to learn to do what I know how to do naturally. I need to like shift gears and try and figure out what this looks like for me. And I left school because I didn't want to be bound by this idea of, you know, the technique of singing. I didn't want to lose the heart and like the soul-driven experience of, you know, singing and or singing soul music or singing jazz music or gospel music. So, and I think that's a big part of, Cleveland specifically. You have all of these musical influences in the United States of America, and a lot of them are rooted out of Cleveland. Our artists come out of Cleveland because we don't have the infrastructure as far as booking agencies and managers and things like that. But Cleveland is like where a lot of it is. I mean, we don't have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here for no reason.
That's right.
And everybody comes here, big artists come here. It's a proven fact. They come here.
That's right.
And they scout out, these artists, and then they take them, to where they're going. And you get this idea of moving to LA or moving to Atlanta or moving to Chicago or New York. But, I literally just had an interview with Grammy.com, and they were asking about kind of the same thing about, how people have seen us as the mistake on the lake, and they veer away from the idea that, we are very prominent within, the culture of music across the world, honestly. And, the Cleveland sound is the sound that you are hearing everywhere.
That's right.
We embellish every scene in a very rich way. Do we always get the credit? Whatever.
Probably not. No.
But we know.
That's right. That's right.
And when you talk about intersectionality, how people show up in their identities, they're still carrying a piece of what Cleveland, or just soul or gospel music or jazz has presented to the world. And so I just take great honor in knowing that I am a part of that. And Cleveland is in the midst of a renaissance right now. So
that's right. Yeah.
The music that's being made right now will stand the test of time. Morning of Black Star is the band that I'm currently touring with. And I just take great pride in being able to say, like, I know it's gonna last, because that's where my intention lies, is for it to be a lasting thing. So
right on. Thank you so much for that, Kyle. And I know we're now a little bit over time, but I just have one final question, and we'll make this the wrap up and check out, and then we'll pass it back to Prem to send everybody on our respective ways. Our work at ThirdSpace Action Lab is so much inspired by this idea of the Black radical imagination, Afrofuturism, to paraphrase Adrienne Marie Brown, we are inspired by this because we know that all of this organizing work, all social movement work, all work for justice is an act of science fiction. It's an exercise of science fiction, because we're trying to create a world that none of us have seen, but yet we still desire it, and we believe that we are entitled to create that world, and to live in that world. So I've been really kind of taken by this billboard that this artist, Alicia Wormsley, created maybe a few years ago. And says that there are Black people in the future. And that seems like kind of a relatively innocent assertion, but it's a profound assertion, actually. So my question for you all as we wrap up, what do you hope for our future ancestors? If you can think ahead to the Black people in the future, like, what type of world do you want them to inhabit? And I'll start with Blue Lab Beats, then pass it back to you, Kyle, and then we'll end with you, Brittany. Cool?
Yeah. I think, what I wish for, in future, I think especially in music, just for more Black genres, just to collaborate with each other, and no fear in that, because of a record label boss saying oh no, it's not this, and you're like, we're all one family.
Right on.
It's just we all understand groove, we understand pocket. I think especially coming, you know what I mean. So it's especially coming back from Ghana, I really learned that, and it was just sharing that experience of mine and David's knowledge, then with the Ghanaians, then being oh, this is so amazing, it's oh, there's this as well, and it's just that sharing. And I think whenever there's these charts, these big record labels make up these awards, these blah, when they section off all of our brothers and sisters, it's kind of you're just there this is kind of destroying it. You know, it's like we need to be like, you know, all together and that. And then when they're doing that separation, it's all that like that kind of technicality, like madness, where it's just like, oh yeah, they just put all of us in this one thing, whilst all of these other genres that they, you know, like country or blah or this or that, they all have their separate thing, and then they just put us in there. And I'm just like,
black people.
And like, and for me, it's like I'm kind of saying the family part, but it's just like, but it's the thing of, it's like, you know, like just for us, definitely
not to be pigeonholed.
Yeah, and like just yeah, exactly that, you know, and just to express an experiment. And I think definitely, my God, just going to Motherland and just seeing all the rhythms there and everything, and seeing like MTV Africa is a whole different situation. Yeah.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yes.
But that's wow.
But like all of their music channels, because like because Africa like has worked this thing out of everyone being connected there. So it's like I'm hearing pop music from North Africa, East Africa, Central and South, whilst I'm in Ghana. And I'm like, this is crazy. Because whilst I was last there, I was only hearing the commercial music of West Africa. And now they understand, like, yo, we all have to be in this together.
Right.
Like to conquer. We got all be in this together. And like I'm just hearing all of these insane rhythms as pop music over there. And I'm like, this isn't pop for me. This is spiritual stuff. I'm hearing some crazy stuff. You know? So when I saw the collaboration there, I was like, that's what I wish for definitely in future. People understanding that. And then it's just like, it's not a scared thing of like, oh yeah, but this is my area and blah. You know, it's like, it's just us kind of breaking that and just being like, cool. What, like, just all of us brothers and sisters and all us folks just like actually get in the same groove, the same pocket. We all know this, you know.
Experiment and collaborate more often.
Yeah.
Right on.
So we shouldn't be afraid of experimenting and collaborating. That's part of the creative process.
Yeah.
And again, not to be pigeonholed into like one box.
Yeah. When you get into a bigger stage, you know, because I think we have the creative freedom at the beginning, and then all of these bigger companies then strip that out, you know. So I think it's just it's to understand that freedom that you have throughout your life, basically. That's what I wish, definitely.
Right on. Oh man, that is so deep. I'm so glad that you all said that. Thank you so much. And we gonna be collaborating. So just you know.
Yeah.
Right on. Kyle. Same question for you.
I would definitely say, you know, my thoughts are in full alignment with Blue Lab Beats of dispelling the binary of this industry in the music scene. The binary does not serve us. It has never really served us. It has just offered. But you know, as we are transcending time, you know, we can't function in ways that are, you know, there for comfortability. Changes are uncomfortable. And so, you know, I always tell people with everything that I do what I want when I want to do it. So, you know, just a touch, you know, before the pandemic happened, I like I said, I grew up in church and singing jazz and doing all different types of things. I was touring, doing operas, you know, so that's what I felt like doing at that time, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. And so during this transition in this time, I just hope that for the future, when we become ancestors, that, you know, musicians and artists of that time don't have the battle of having to be within a binary that makes them work against or push further away from their influences. You know, we give these offerings, and our ancestors have given these offerings so that we can be inspired, so that we can go through these changes and have, you know, influences in abundance. You know, and also I guess I would like for there not to be this push for people to live in a place of lack. Live in abundance, you know, us as a people, us as Black people, we are abundant. We have been abundant. This Afrofuturist thing is just a name that people have given for comfortability to say that it's something. So we have you know, ahead of the time. You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the long nails that Billie Eilish is wearing. Black women in the 90s.
Been doing that.
And it was not acceptable. It was not acceptable. It was too Black. So we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna give a name to it. Let's dispel the binary. And how do we do that? We do what the hell we want when we want. And this collaboration on a panel with Blue Lab Beats, I never would have had this opportunity years ago, but for it to happen, you know, is showing that, you know, the times are telling, and we are dispelling as we are continuing forward. So that's all I want. Do what you want.
Amen. Amen. That was beautiful. Oh my God, I'm so inspired and excited. What I want is like for us to shoot a video, y'all to collab, you know, and then I'm in the back like Diddy bopping, you know, in the background, you know, maybe the Soul Train line or whatever. Brittany, your reflections on what the better Black future looks like for you.
You know, I mean, in the future, I just want to see more unity, not in the way that, you know, everybody says unity, community, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, usually division and compartmentalization is usually what precedes a conquest, you know, divide and conquer. So I think the fact is, you know, really just kind of like decolonizing our imaginations, you know, as the diaspora, we're spread all over the world, but we still seem to have the same issues. And sometimes it can be a situation of, you know, because it all starts in the imagination. So if we can, you know, kind of just liberate that first, everything else is going to follow. I mean, it all starts in the mind. So I just want to see, I mean, I feel like I'm just kind of at this point an echo chamber for what everyone else has said about, you know, unifying, but also just really just erasing the boundaries and the labels that really define us. Like, you know, I see a bunch of, you know, just Black folks right now. I mean, I can say American, Jamaican, Clevelander, Londoner, West African. You know, at the end of the day, we're all still grooving. I mean, we all still.
Right on.
And also just to kind of turn the adjective into the noun, you know what I'm saying? When we say Black music, it's just like, you know, there's so much musical influence and foundation that we have. To me, it's just like Black is music, music is Black. You know, and everything else, if we can center that, can be a variation and a cutoff. So I just, you know, I just want to see just maybe a few paradigm shifts in there, some liberated imaginations. And like, you know, we can't really decolonize institutions and organizations until we decolonize our imagination. So I would like to see that moving forward. And also just one last thing, touching on what Kyle said. I mean, I was having a conversation last night where a lot of people talk about the word Afrofuturism, and it is a term in itself, but I know a lot of people have been turned off by how it's used. But really, the center of that, I would say, is just Black ingenuity and the spirit of constantly making a way. You know, you will be in the future if you make a way now. So like I said, I think that starts with how we see ourselves, see the world, and if time is like the fourth dimension, that can all be bent, manipulated. The future's past, past is future, nothing's new. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just a really exciting time. Everything's really just starting to disintegrate, and we're starting to, you know, see through our own lens. So, you know, I'm just looking forward to see what comes, you know.
Right on. Free your mind and your behind will follow. And with that, I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kyle Kidd, to NK, OK, to Mr. DM, Blue Lab Beats. Thank you, Brittany, for putting this together. Prem, I'm so appreciative of you and your team for allowing us to do this. And thank you for everybody who signed up to be a part of the hippest trip on either side of the Atlantic. So with that, peace, y'all.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause. Yeah. Just fantastic to have these minds, this music in one space and time. Yeah. And for all of you who have tuned in, I just want to ask you one last question for the chat to check out. I mean, this idea of what is a Black future look like, but also what has resonated from this. And so I just want you to take a moment, again, as we move into whatever other activity, whatever other conversations, maybe being on screen we've got in front of us, just take another moment to just take in a deep breath and release it. And just take a moment to think of one thing that's moved in you through this fantastic performance and conversation. One thing that's moved. And just breathe in again and breathe out. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes and type it into the chat. Okay. Thank you again, everyone. Thanks for coming today. Thank you to Blue Lab Beats, Kyle Kidd, Brittany Benton, Mordecai Cargill, ThirdSpace Action Lab, Front International, and to all of you who've tuned in. And stay tuned. There's going to be some things coming out of this. There'll be a Spotify playlist. We're also going to have this raffle that all of you will hear about. And we look forward to seeing you in the future. So thank you.